Hi guys, this is Ranger back for chapter 2 of Railway Empire. So, I, a few people saw my video for from chapter 1 and um, kind of said that an hour was probably a bit too long, especially at the beginning because the episodes are not, the chapters are not particularly long, right? So and in trying to explain what I'm doing while doing it at the same time, I think it made the episode a little too long, especially for the easy ones. So what I'm going to do is keep it in 30-minute chunks. I think we can split up chapter 2. It's just about long enough to go to two videos. So I'm going to split it up into two sections. Chapter 1, part 1 will do some of chapter 2, and then we'll come back and finish it off in part 2. um, so here we go. So I'm going to skip through some of the cutscenes that show up here. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just leave it because I don't think we'll see that in part 2 anyway. Okay, so go to campaign, chapter 2. Continue. We'll go to Trainiac mode. Get the bonus. All right.
In 1830, the prosperous industrial centers on the east coast of the United States of America were poorly connected to the mainland. Insufficiently developed toll roads and slow ship canals were the only options when making long journeys. Farmers, businessmen, and travelers lamented these long, arduous, and above all, unsafe transport routes. They were not only an inconvenience for travelers, but also shackles on the merchant nation's hunger to grow. But at this time, a development from England was taking its first steps and helped keep alive the hope of many cities in the East of reaching greater economic influence and growth.
I've been waiting for you. I'm Philip Evan Thomas. It's always been my dream to build a railroad to the Ohio River and beyond. That would help everyone, both the settlers and the natives. And I need your help with that. First of all, I have two tasks for you in order to build a base from where we can monitor further activities. But as I learned back when I was a bank clerk, the books must always balance. So take care to make a profit, even with these preliminary assignments.
What is this new fish swimming in our pond? Greetings from the beautiful city of Charlotte. What was your name again? The stranger, wasn't it? Well, that's what you look like. Just let me know if you need help push starting your trains.
All right. So we're going to do. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do. Yeah, automatic is fine.
I have nothing against strangers. Some of my best friends are strangers. But you're not from here, and New York is my city. That's where I do business. I say when the trains roll, where they're going, and why. As long as you don't get in my way, everything will be A-OK between us.
I see our two competitors have introduced themselves to you. They have different approaches and so will behave differently. Basically, however, they want to expand their rail networks and make a profit just like you do. So stay on guard and don't let them take advantage of you.
All right, so we have. Oh no, what's going on here? Why doesn't it want to connect? This has never happened to me before. It's okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna trash this and start from this side. I think it'll work. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let me just finish this and I'll explain what I was doing. Um, Shift control, click for the signals, puts a signal everywhere. Alright, let's get a couple of lines set up. We want from here, we want freight lines, wait for full. We have a meat plant here, so we want to obviously supply cattle. We'll go here and we'll add a couple of locomotives. These locomotives are not the best. They're just really crappy locomotives. They only have 11% tractive power and 15 miles per hour speed. They're not particularly great. So, but that's all we have, right? So anyway, so the tasks are we have to connect three rural businesses to our network. So the easiest thing to do is connect everything that we need, right? That makes us money because there's a demand for them, and it also helps us achieve our goals, right? So we'll put another train station on this side. Like I said, new train stations are cheaper than adding tracks for now. So we'll just do that. And there's a milk factory right here. So this is producing um, dairy farm, right? So it needs milk and it produces dairy products. So we'll get the meat in here, and that'll keep the city happy, at least for the near term. So, all right, so we'll just do that. I think, yeah, let's just put it over here and run a line. It's going to be an expensive line because it's fairly long and it requires some bridges, but that's okay. Let's see if we can make this any cheaper. Yeah, 270 is about right, I think. Okay. Not to worry. We'll make up that money when the trains start to deliver goods, right? So, okay, signals. Again, no supply towers for now. And I'm going to set up freight lines. Fill it up. Go here. And we'll add three trains. That should keep them happy. And the other good thing is we have logs right here, and typically both any city requires logs to grow. So if you look at Baltimore, it requires logs, and if you look at Washington, it also requires logs, right? So this is a quick way for us to make money. Now here, what I'm going to do is add a platform on this side for each of them, right? It's just easier. And then what we'll do is we'll build two separate train stations, one over here and one over here, right? So this is uphill, but delivering a full load, it is going to be downhill. So we have to do is worry about the way back, which is a-okay because an empty train can climb a little bit of a slope.
The
Okay,
bigger a city gets, the
so
greater
we've
its
connected.
demands get too. At some point, the goods from the immediate area will no longer be enough. That's where the railroad comes in handy. Now select Baltimore to take a closer look at the city.
That's a pretty big bridge. Is there anything we can do to make it cheaper? Yeah, maybe. But we're messing up over here. Nah. Okay. So we'll just keep it at that price. 134 is fine. Okay, and then signals on both sides. Now, okay, and we're going to put two trains, freight only, from here, full, here, here. Add, we'll duplicate that, and we'll get one rail line set up here, freight, full, here, 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 and we'll do it. Right, so two trains each, and I think this should keep this place humming nicely because these are growing cities, right? So what do we do? We are done with the tasks for the first section, right? So now it says here we have to do something. We have to say click on this city to see what the demand is.
Baltimore, where the headquarters of our firm is located, has a large clothing industry. The city therefore needs a constant supply of fabrics. In New York, on the other hand, the fashion-conscious customers are waiting for deliveries of ready-tailored goods.
All right, so it's always a good idea.
Between Baltimore and New York, so that the clothing produced in Baltimore can be delivered to New York.
Right, it's always a good thing to buy these whenever the auction comes up because getting points takes time, right? But money you can always earn, so it's easy. So the next task is to connect Baltimore to New York so that people here can buy our cloths, or clothes rather, right? Okay, so let's lay a train line here. We're going to get yelled at, but that's perfectly okay. Now, I can't really do much about this train station, but what we can do is add another platform here. Well, two platforms for 100,000. We're running out of money, so let's get a couple of bonds, right? So do that and do that because we're going to need a lot of money really quickly. So we already have some points, so let's increase the profits from, we can do transportation fee. We have a lot of freight cars, so let's just increase the fee from the profit from transportation quickly. So now we'll go from the third track. Let's go to, we're going to go the shortest way and then we'll adjust it accordingly, right? There's going to be a couple of $1,000,000. Don't worry about it. We will, all right, we'll get it the shortest and the cheapest way possible. Okay, so this is no good. Okay, so let's get it there, and then we'll get it there. All right, this is, we'll adjust that in a minute, but I'm gonna go it like this. Oh, 1% slope, which is good. Okay, so here what we'll do is we'll click once on the track and do shift and mouse over, which will make essentially a bridge. Right, this is going to be an expensive track because you need a bridge over here and a bridge over here. Unfortunately, in Trainiac mode, that's the nature of the beast because they're aggressive in building. The competitors are quite aggressive in building, so really we really don't have much of a choice. So you get it to about a 4% slope, and see if you can get this any closer. Nope. Okay. Delete that, click. Right, that's about as good as it's going to get, I think. 416,000. The bridge car. I mean, we have one bridge here and one bridge here, which is obviously very, very pricey. We can do that, and then see if we can get this up. Maybe no. It's getting okay. There we go. 360. I think that's more palatable. Ooh, that's a 14% slope. That's no good. Okay, so let's see if we can do that. We want to keep it around 4 to 5, no more than 5%, I think. 8, 6, 5. Nah. There we go. I think that's better. Weren't we at actually less than 350 at one point? Let's try if we can do that. Money is at a premium, unfortunately, so we're kind of stuck. Boy, this is a huge bridge, isn't it? Okay, but this is good. All right, we can figure this out. Okay. Oh man. Yeah, that's about as good as it's going to get. Okay, that's good. So then we'll do a double track. This is why we needed the extra money. Alright, so signals. We'll put signals like this, like this. Okay, this is fine. Then we'll do 2 trains automatic from New York to Baltimore. Okay.
I'll let you get on with your responsibilities.
And then 2 trains from
Stay alert.
the other
I
way
will
around,
check on your
Baltimore to New
progress from
York.
time to time.
Like I said, these trains are junk, but they'll do the job for now. Okay, so connect Baltimore and Pittsburgh. We have 3 more tasks. So we are already at about 16 minutes. So we'll do these 3 and then I think we'll stop, right? I think that's not a bad place to stop. So connect Baltimore to Pittsburgh, deliver 10 loads of cotton to Pittsburgh, and 20 loads of clothing to New York. That's going to be a little bit of a challenge. But actually, maybe we'll stop after delivering 10 loads of cotton to Pittsburgh because I think it's going to take some time for us to get the track built. All right. So first things first, we'll get a small train station here, like this, and what we'll do is yeah. Hmm. Let's reverse that. Apologize. Alright, so let's do a small train station here. And the first thing we'll do is we have to connect it because it won't let you build a second station until the first station is connected to your home, which is obviously in this case uh, which is Baltimore in this case. So okay, so let's do this way. I think this is probably the easier option for us. There we go. We'll cut across like this and we'll connect it to, okay, so this is going to cause tunnels, so we have to be a little careful here. It can get really expensive, so we'll go that way. A little bit of slope is perfectly okay. Too much is not a good thing. So 2%, and we'll come across this way and join this track. So the track 4 is now empty, so we should be, there we go. Let's connect it to this one, right? So we are at the most we are at is about 4%, which is not bad at all, I think. Yeah, 4. Yeah, 4 is not too bad. It's a crappy train, but nevertheless, crappy engine. I mean, sorry. Okay, so we'll double track this all the way across because we need. All right, so we'll do that, and we'll get our signaling
If you
in.
transport the clothing from Baltimore with your rail line, you will be making a considerable contribution to the growth of the industry.
Now, we can
Everyone
start
profits from
doing an automatic from here to here. What we can do is emphasize cloth, right? So we can emphasize cloth so that as soon as cloth is made here, it's delivered here because we need to get cloth here so that we can get um, clothes made and then the clothes shipped to New York, right? We have to make a couple of other adjustments, but I'll
Excellent.
tell you, right? So we want to
You could hire train
remove,
crews in the staff dialogue window.
we don't want to
They will
send
need
clothing
to
back to
view the
Pittsburgh.
train details of the selected train to assign the staff to it. Now,
So,
open the train details of your most important train and assign an engineer and a stoker to it.
all right, we can do two, kill two birds with one stone. So we can, the Pittsburgh train is pretty important, so we can do an engineer here, and we can assign a stoker here, right? And a conductor. Why not, right? Because it's a pretty
You don't
important
have
train.
first call on
So right
cities,
now it's
farms, or
bringing
mines. Of course, your
cloth,
transport
but then it
income
will.
will fall if your competitors connect these to their rail networks.
Okay, so I'm going to do
Tracks
three
over
trains,
complex buildings and
and I'm
carriage
going to do
all
three,
increase the
couple of
value of
trains
your
back.
company.
We have to do the
The
same thing
higher
on this
this
side.
is, the higher the price of your company stocks.
So I'm going to in Pittsburgh. I'm saying prioritize cloth. In Baltimore, we do not want going clothes going back to Pittsburgh because we
Just
want
as
it all
other
going to New
companies
York.
buy stocks
Okay.
from you, you were able to buy some from them. If you do that, you will profit from the success of your competitors. You should buy stocks via the company dialogue window now.
So the other thing we also want to do is in this rail line, we only have one train here. I thought we had two. Okay. So I'm also going to say do not, uh, from Baltimore, do not load clothing to Washington. We do not want Washington to get clothes because we want it all going to New York, right? That's a goal for us. So, and I can also, what I can do is I can duplicate that train, right? Now, you can see there's an industry here, but again, we don't want to waste money doing industry right now. We want to get other things done, right? So we have 5 trains on this line. Now, what I'm going to do, we also have to deliver cotton to Pittsburgh. So what I'm going to do is put a small train station here.
I wouldn't have expected such a
And
ruthless
then because we connected this to our hometown, we can now expand this to a second station and connect, because it's cheaper to put a station in than it is to expand initially anyway, right? So we connect this back and do that, double track it. So this goal is fairly straightforward because we just need to deliver 10, but a load is basically 8 freight, 8 cotton. So we need to get 2 trains and we should accomplish the goal. Okay, we don't have enough money, so let's speed it up. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, there we go. So duplicate the train, and we should be able to accomplish 10 loads of cotton to Pittsburgh, right? Now we need to deliver 20 loads of clothing to New York. I think we've already done 18, so that should be fairly quick also. Because we are delivering cotton, that should be easy, right? So now let's increase the profits from mail. We can increase the number of passengers, or we can get a better engine, or local. I mean, this is a John Bull is a pretty decent engine. I think we should go with that, and we can upgrade our trains to a better engine, right? Because the John Bull has 20 miles, 20 tractor power, 21, compared to the Grasshopper, which was 15 and 11, right? So let's see how much it would cost to upgrade all the trains. So 688,000. I just don't think we have enough. Uh, but if we do just the freights, it's still 367, which we don't have. Okay, that's okay. We can increase the reliability. I think that's good with the Grasshopper. So let's do that. All right. King of Rails has the fastest train. Okay, so we are already starting to see some breakdowns, but that's okay. Um, we just need to get this done. So we're already at 8 loads here, 9, and we should be done. 10. There we go. We have a golden check mark. That's good. And then only a couple more pieces of cloth to uh, New York. So there we go. That should make more clothing. So how do you check, right? If you click on tailors, it tells you how many, how much it needs and how much it can produce, and it has enough in stock for it to make clothes, right? So the clothing supply should be pretty good. That's why you can see the utilization is at 100%. because it's getting a steady demand of steady supply of cloth, which will enable it to produce clothing, right? And if you check the trains to New York, we should see some of them hopefully have some clothing. There we go. One of them is going into New York right now, and it has one cart one car load of clothing. So that should get us to our goal, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see. Okay. That should have gotten us to a goal. What happened? Oh, we got 19. Okay, this looks like it's 20 loads of clothing, right? So that means it's 20 car loads of clothing. So I'm guessing we have to wait now. So the New York line is a fantastic line. It makes a lot of money, Baltimore to New York, right? So if you get a conductor, yeah, there we go. What we should do is, because the conductor increases the profit of transportation of mail by 10%, we should definitely put them on the most profitable line. Not this one, this one. Okay, there. This is the one we need. So we can go here and put a conductor on, and that'll give us extra 10% for the mail. It's carrying 5 carloads of mail, so it should give us plenty of money. All right, so let's see. How is Baltimore doing? Okay, now Baltimore has another feature. So when it hits 60,000, it allows you to add a special building. And special buildings, and I'll explain about that in a minute. Special buildings allow you to give you a bonus on the growth factor, right? So they'll make the cities grow faster. So that's something that we want to keep an eye on. All right, so we have 19. Let's see if any of our trains to New York, and then we'll end the episode here. It's already at exactly 28 minutes. Okay, there we go. See, we have a huge train load of clothing going to New York. So we should be able to finish up this mission right as this train reaches over there. So I think that'll be a good stopping point for this episode. I promise you guys, the episodes will get longer and more complicated as we go along. So just bear with me. These are the first few episodes. A lot of this is learning. So we'll just take it slow. Now the security guard. This is nice, right? So basically, the security guards prevents bandit attacks on trains, and bandits typically tend to attack, trains that are carrying freight, or even sometimes even between cities. But because it causes this guy gives you a bonus in freight prices, you want to put them on a freight line typically, because you want to maximize the money you're getting for it. So what I'm going to do is put him on it doesn't matter. You can look for the most profitable freight line. So they're all about the same. Okay, this is Monte logging. This is a profitable line. So if you put him there, and he's hauling a full load of freight, he's going to give you a 5% bonus, right? This is a very profitable line. I'm sure this one is too, but maybe not. Sawyer cattle. At this moment, I'm not seeing anything, but why is this guy not demanding anything? All right, so he's also saying buy stocks from some company. I don't want to buy any factories right now, so I can go here and buy. So the cheapest stock to buy would be Beatrix, right? Because she has the lowest stock price. So what I can do is buy 5% of our stock, and that should be able to accomplish my goal. Now, there's always going to be people coming in, right?
Just between us, as it's, well, not entirely legal. But we need to keep all of our options open. A saboteur has applied for a job with you. If you send him to one of your competitors, he will make trouble for them. This can also cause their stock price to fall.
All right,
You don't
this is
have
something.
to deploy saboteurs to do better than your competitors. You could deal with them in a more classy and legal way. Take a look at which routes are more lucrative and will ensure you become the most important transporter there.
So I just showed you what happens. I mean, you hire this person and she does some damage to the. Now, I also hired a chief engineer. A chief engineer basically gives you more innovation points weekly, right? So that allows you to increase your research faster and be able to
By
gain
the
some
way, your
additional stuff
competitor,
sooner.
Don Lorenzo, is a bit of a gang boss. You could imagine that he has good connections to bandits and saboteurs. so it's much easier for him to deploy such characters.
All right. So as I said before, Baltimore has this, right? So we're at 60,000. We have this option available. It's an expensive option, but if you put a museum in here somewhere, right? We're already at 4 tracks here, so we'll never be able to expand. So we can put the museum here. What that does is it gives Baltimore a additional boost in growth rate, right? So I believe if you look here, increases satisfaction of citizens, fulfillment of demand 10%, right? So basically, if all the demand's fulfillment factor is increased by 10%, it'll help the city grow faster, right? So you do want to do that. And again, as I said, as soon as you see an auction for something, go ahead and bid on it. It's always a good thing because that's the quickest way to gain innovation, right? This is increases time passengers wait in the city, which is great for us because we have city to city stuff. Now, this is another boost for that number of passengers increased, so that's always a good thing because, like I said, in New York, Baltimore, those are lucrative lines. We want to get more passengers in.
You should have learned the most important
There we go.
aspects of your position by now. I'll let you get on with your responsibilities.
All right, guys. So I think, like I said, we'll stop when we hit the first set of tasks. I
Stay
think
alert.
this is pretty
I
good.
will check on your progress from time to time.
The rest of it, I think we can do in the next episode, even though it's a little bit longer, I think. Or maybe, you know what? Yeah, I think we're well ahead of the game. You know what? Let me connect Baltimore and Toledo. I think that's another good option. Again, I think I explained this before we end this episode. Let's do that one additional task. So, like I explained before, a connection between two cities doesn't have to be a direct connection. It can be an indirect connection as well, right? For you to achieve the goal. So right now we have. Let's look at where Toledo is. Toledo is over here.
One
No,
day the railroad will reach all the way to the west coast. Every day, huge crowds of people set out to cross the entire country, and the trains will continue to get faster. Don't look at me like that. We can't stop progress.
all right. So what I'm going to do is just to be safe. Yeah, I'm going to connect this train station to Toledo. Okay, so we can do a couple of things, right? We can connect Pittsburgh, Toledo, and Pittsburgh has cloth, and Toledo has meat, right? And Buffalo has meat as well. Yeah, there's a few things we can do to increase our revenue. See, Syracuse is a beer line, Buffalo is a meat line. Connecting these two is lucrative, especially if you supply them with what they need, right? So this guy needs grain for beer, and this guy needs cattle for, and then between these two they'll exchange the beer and cattle, and both of them will grow, which is a fantastic thing. Now, in the meantime, we have to finish Toledo. So let's do this. So I built a second track here. Let me run a line. Actually, you know what? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go with expand this twice, and we'll go with the last track here. Okay, and then we'll run it like this and run it straight across. I will fix that track in a minute, but for now, let's do this. So we're not going to run anything on this side, so let's put it here and connect this here. Okay, so 200,000, that's not bad. Some earthworks, but that's okay. Keep it flat.
A big dream has become reality.
So you can see this task is now complete. But let's finish up a couple more things before we end.
This will speed up the trade of goods and help bring more prosperity to the city.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is, this is 173,000. We don't have enough money, but if I speed up, we should be able to get it. Oops. Yeah, so, sorry. So you see how our technology got stolen? There's a stoker here, so I'm going to hire that person and auto assign. So this button will auto assign any of the free train staff to a proper route, right? So we don't need to do it manually. We can if you want to, but sometimes it's easier to do it automatic. A spy steals technology, right? At a certain price, you can just like we got our technology stolen, we can send somebody to steal from Beatrix.
Oh, don't be
Right.
such a
So
fuss.
let's finish up this
We've
track.
got
Oh
plenty
boy,
of it anyway.
I think we hired this person and got ran out of money. Okay. So let's do signaling. If you build a line, you should make money on it. Otherwise, what's the point, right? So, all right. So let's throw a couple of trains on there.
Gosh, obviously you don't know what you're
Pittsburgh
doing.
to Toledo. Let's do passenger lines, right? Because there's no sense in having any traffic between the two. That's anything other than passengers. So we can go with the John Bull if we can wait for a little bit. I think we'll get some money. Might as well upgrade. All right. In the meantime, let's see what we need. Okay. Increase the number of passengers. There we go. This is a company and construction boost. So let's do that. And see if we have enough money now. We can throw the train on there. There we go. That's a fast train, so that's always going to be good. All right. There's only a couple of people, but let's throw two trains and maybe two trains on the way back. Ah, we don't have enough money again.
Did you know that I am speaking in Washington on behalf of some Indian tribes? They have granted me the title of Haiwa Nam, which means the benevolent one.
You should look for your train.
Okay, so I think it's time to change our trains because I think they're running out of supplies.
A bit of bad press never hurt anyone.
So what we can do is go to the John Bull and then replace all the John Bull locomotives with John Bulls. Is that right? Oh no, grasshoppers. Sorry. It's going to be too much money. Okay, grasshoppers with all new grasshoppers. Wow, that still costs a lot of money. Okay, and we don't have that. Hmm. Okay, I think they're missing operating supplies. So I think it'd still be cheaper to replace them. So I'm going to hire this person and assign, auto assign. Okay, there we go. I think that's enough money. So we'll go with the John Bull, replace all the John Bulls with, no, sorry, grasshoppers with all grasshoppers. 138,000. Okay, that'll give us some fresh locomotives. Okay, and I'm not going to do any more tasks because I think the next one is at 16:38. I think we have plenty of time, and it's going to take some time. So in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. Like I said, it'll just help us gain money a lot quicker. So we'll do a Baltimore connection first. So let's go to Baltimore, and so we'll connect Baltimore to Pittsburgh. That'll expand our connection. So we'll do that right there.
Letting me have your stuff, sweetheart.
Okay, this is 105,000, 96,000. Okay, so we need some money. Let's see. Okay, increase transfer proper from that's good. We just got an increase from profits increase from transported mail, so that's good. Okay, so we have enough money for this line. This is also going to be a lucrative line, I think, because what we can do is and we're going to run some passenger and mail lines here. So, oh, this is no, this is track. Okay, so we'll put some signals on these and we'll run some passenger mail lines between Pittsburgh and Buffalo. There we go. And we'll do it with the John Bull. We'll add a conductor on there because I think the conductor will give us extra money. And we'll do two trains here, I think. That's fine for now because we need money for other things. Okay, so I'm going to throw a train station on here to Syracuse, and another one to Buffalo, and I'm going to connect these two. Beautiful. And we'll double track that, and you'll see what will happen with this. This is great for us. Okay, add our signals. All right, so let's slow this down. Add a couple of trains from. Oh, beautiful seat upholstery. See, number of passengers. That's good. I know we'll lose some money here, but that's okay.
Shoo, shoo! Let the adults do business in peace.
All right, and we'll
It
do
angers me
automatic
that to
line.
this day, nobody has erected a memorial to our founding father, George Washington. I hope that the disputes about it will be over someday, and I'll be the first to make a donation towards it.
All right, Syracuse to Baltimore. So we have how many trains here? We have Pittsburgh to, no, Syracuse. We want the Syracuse line. I think there's only one train here. Okay, so we need to duplicate that train. See, beer is coming down, and on the way back, it'll pick up meat. So it's going to be fabulous. Okay, so let's do 3 trains, one from here to here, and you can see it'll pick up meat immediately. There we go. Now we need to supply meat here, right, and logs to help this grow, and we can do grain to this to Syracuse, and we can, you know, later on we can figure out what to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is expand this station because it's on the other side. There's not enough room for me. So go here and cut across like that. We'll do a small train station like this, and we'll pick up that and drop it in here. Okay, and like that, 45,000. And while we're at it, I'm going to add one more station to this one right here, and actually just hop onto this same track because it's only going to carry a couple. It's freight line, so it's okay to join them like that. So there we go, and we'll pump them like that. We'll do signals. It won't do them after the junction, but that's okay. Okay, there we go, and like that. And what we'll do is we'll throw a couple of cattle freight lines to that place, and we can just throw the cheaper grasshoppers. It's a short run. So, and I'm going to do 2 of these, and I'm going to do one from here to here, freight line again, max out. I think that should be fine. Maybe 2 of these as well. Okay, now that should grow buffalo nicely. We can also throw some grain for buffalo, but I want to connect the grain to Syracuse first. So I'm going to throw another small train station on this side, and we'll get some grain like that, because I think it's easier to curve around, probably cheaper too. Okay, so we'll just nudge along this track and hit this platform like that, and we'll double track that all the way down. I didn't notice the bridge here, but that's okay. It's a small bridge. Signals. Okay. And we'll do rail line from here, freight line, max cars to here. And this is a fairly long line, so let's do that one. Add an engineer if he's there. And I'm going to do 3 of these, so let's speed up. Right. Okay, speed up and do that. And one more thing to help the city grow is we can get some corn in here, which will help this city grow, because if you look here, you can see it requires corn. It is getting corn over land, so it's not the end of the world. It requires logs, which are pretty far away. It needs beer, meat, and grain. Grain, it's getting. It's not only not going to get this, but it's still going to grow just fine. It's going to need cloth because at some point it's going to need cloth, so it's not a problem. We can put an industry there if we need to. But you can see Baltimore is already
My
growing.
brother
So if
spent
I
some
just add
time in England. His account of how
this
the railroad is used in mining
track
there
here
fascinated me.
and get some
However,
grain in
America,
there.
we have considerably greater distances to overcome. A mammoth task.
Okay, so let's do 7654. Okay, there you go, 4%. That's good.
Trains isn't doing what it should be doing.
Okay, and we'll just do it's a short run. There we go. Double track it, and we'll do another small freight line with full cargo, and we'll do a grasshopper. That's fine. We can upgrade later if we need to. I think just one train should be good. It's really tiny. All right, so it's 46 minutes, guys. So I think we'll stop here. Just get a couple more of these. All right, so we are down to
Baltimore is growing and
100,000 passengers
thriving.
here.
That
So
is
that's
mainly
great. We've
thanks
achieved
to the
another one.
railroad that you built. Well done.
So we only need a few more tasks, and we'll do them because this is going to take some time to get to there. We have to buy shares, 10 rural businesses, and one of your competitors' companies. So those 4 we'll do in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe the video, and leave some comments. I appreciate everybody who watches. See you in part 2 of chapter 2. Thanks and have a good one.